Shalom, brothers and sisters. Grace, mercy, and peace be unto you from Yahuwah the Father and Yahusha the Messiah, his Son. Hear, O Yasharal, Yahuwah our Mighty One is one Yahuwah. This is Brother David coming to you again to bring you the laws, statutes, judgments, and commandments of Yahuwah. And we're starting today from Deuteronomy 20. If you think that these laws are harsh, they are not. They have to be tough. In order to put the evil out from amongst you, there must be a deterrent. Remember, we are free-willed people. He's not dealing with robots. He's dealing with people who have all different types of personalities. The Father knows exactly what to do to keep these personalities in check. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, a hand for a hand, a foot for a foot. Death if you worship other gods or bring in false prophets, or if anyone desires to pull you away from Yahuwah. A little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. Therefore, put the evil out from amongst you. The only people who are worried about these laws, statutes, and commandments, and the ones who may say, oh, this is too cruel, I don't want to go into the kingdom, is because they want to live lawlessly. Let's begin. Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 1 to 5. Verse 1. When thou goest out to battle against thine enemies, and seest horses and chariots and a people more than thou, be not afraid of them. For Yahuwah thy mighty one is with thee, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. Verse 2. And it shall be, when ye are come nigh unto the battle, that the priest shall approach and speak unto the people. What is he going to say? Verse 3. And he shall say unto them, Shema Yasharal, ye approach this day unto battle against your enemies. Let not your hearts faint. Fear not, and do not tremble, neither be terrified because of them. Verse 4. For Yahuwah, your mighty one, is he that goeth with you to fight for you against your enemies to save you. Why does the priest have to come and say these things before they go out to battle? Because we are people who forget. We have to constantly be reminded. This is why if you're not in this book every single day, you're going to forget. We need this reminder. Verse 5. I want you to listen to this. This is just beyond anything that any human or the thinking of man could have come up with. Listen to this. Verse 5. And the officers shall speak unto the people, saying, What man is there that hath built a new house, and hath not dedicated it? Let him go and return to his house. Hold it 1 second. Do you see this? You just built your new house. You know, you're putting your land together and everything, and you haven't even dedicated the house yet. You haven't slept in it or lived there. Listen what he says. Go back home. Return to that house. Go dedicate it. Why? Lest he die in battle and another man dedicate it. You see how the Father's thinking of your interests. Verse 6. And what man is he that have planted a vineyard and have not yet eaten of it? Hey, So the guy who has just planted a vineyard and he hasn't harvested it yet, what is he supposed to do? Is he supposed to go to battle? No. Let him also go and return unto his house, lest he die in battle and another man eat of it. Isn't this spectacular? The way our Father has covered all grounds? Verse 7. And what man is there that hath betrothed a wife, and hath not taken her? Hold it 1 second. You just got married. Now you're going into battle. The general is going to say, no, you're not. You have to go home. You have to go into her. Let him go and return unto his house, lest he die in battle. And guess what? Another man take her. The Father is concerned about your interests. That's why all of these laws have been placed there, these statutes. Verse 8. And officers shall speak further unto the people, and they shall say, what man is there that is fearful and faint-hearted? Let him go and return unto his house, lest his brethren's heart faint as well as his heart. A little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. They don't want cowards to be involved here. They want warriors. So all of the brethren who are afraid, go home. Verse 9. And it shall be, when the officers have made an end of speaking unto the people, that they shall make captains of the armies to lead the people. Verse 10. And when thou comest nigh unto a city to fight against it, then proclaim peace unto you. We've come in peace, unless you don't open the gates. Verse 11. And it shall be, if it make thee answer of peace and open unto thee, they open their gates unto you, then it shall be that all the people that is found therein shall be tributaries unto thee, and they shall serve thee. Do you understand how this thing works? The Father is not playing when he says that you should be the head and not the tail, above and not beneath, a lender and not a borrower, that everyone shall serve thee. He is not playing. Verse 12. And if it will make no peace with thee, but will make war against thee, then thou shalt besiege it. Verse 13. And when Yahuwah thy mighty one hath delivered it into thine hands, listen what you have to do. Remember what this is. These are laws, statutes, commandments, and judgments. Look at this judgment, what you have to do. It is also a commandment. And when Yahuwah thy mighty one hath delivered it into thine hands, thou shalt smite, kill, every male thereof with the edge of the sword, that their seed may grow and prosper no more. Verse 14. Why is that? Why would he do something like that? Because they did not hearken unto you. The Father has made you above all people on the planet Earth. Whoever does not hearken unto you, whoever does not bow down and kiss your feet, whoever wants to make war with you, this is going to be the outcome. Verse 14. But the women and the little ones and the cattle and all that is in the city, even all the spoil thereof, thou shalt take unto thyself, and thou shalt eat the spoils of thine enemies, which Yahuwah thy mighty one have given thee. All right? I want you to understand something. We shall have slaves in the kingdoms. You can call them servants, hired servants, whatever you want, but basically they shall be your slaves. The Father is going to give them to you. You're not to treat them like you were treated. They have to be treated like one in your own household. You're not going to starve them. You're not going to send them in nakedness. You're not going to whip them unless they do something wrong, of course. You're going to teach them the law because they have to keep the law also. They cannot transgress the law. Sabbath days come, they have to learn how to do all of those things. Some of them will be integrated into the children of Israel. Verse 15. Thus shalt thou do unto all the cities which are very far off from thee, which are not of the cities of these nations. Now, in case you were thinking that he told you not certain places you must utterly destroy, he said that these are the cities that are far off from thee. Not locally, not in the promised land. Let's say maybe in Africa or in Asia. I don't think we're going to go into Russia to get their people because they're not of us. But in Africa and in Asian countries where our people, the Shemitic people and the Hamitic people live, he says, this is what you're going to do with all of those cities. Verse 16, but, there's always a but, isn't there? Of the cities of these people which Yahuwah thy mighty one doth give thee for an inheritance, thou shalt save alive nothing that breatheth. Nothing. No cattle, no little ones, no women, definitely no men. They were tainted with this angelic genome. The Father said, wipe them off the face of the earth. Verse 17, but thou shalt utterly destroy them, namely, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, the Jebusites, as Yahuwah thy mighty one have commanded thee. Verse 18, that they teach you not to do after their abominations, which they have done unto their gods. So should ye sin, transgress the law against Yahuwah. Because if you learn how to do these things, you're going to apply them, right? For some reason, the Israelites love to do the abominations of the other gods more than they love to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahuwah. Why? Because these abominations were connected to sexual activity. And you know the black men are really big on that, especially when you see strange flesh and these nice shapes. The men were taken into that, orgies and all of the things that they did before their God. The mighty one says, wipe them out so that you don't learn to do after what they do. Verse 19, when thou shalt besiege a city a long time, in making war against it, to take it, thou shalt not destroy the trees thereof by forcing an axe against them. For thou mayest eat of them, and thou shalt not cut them down. For the tree of the field is man's life to employ them in the siege. Listen, he's covered everything, brothers and sisters. You're going to besiege that city. Don't cut down the tree to make battlements, ladders and things to ram into the gate so that you can open it up. He says you can cut them down, but not the goodly trees, because they're food for you. While you're in the siege, you're going to need to eat of the fruit of those trees, so don't you cut those down. Verse 20, only the trees which thou knowest, that they be not trees for meat or for food, thou shalt destroy and cut them down, and thou shalt build bulwarks against the city that maketh war with thee until it be subdued. He's covered everything in his law, brothers and sisters. He was preparing the people for coming into the promised land. He was telling them what was going to happen. This is also preparation for us. We're about to go into the promised land. All of those who's going to make it, right? I've been looking into it, and I haven't seen anything where he said he was just going to come and pick and choose when it came to those who are going to go into the promised land. But the only thing that I can see, just like in Egypt, we have to do our parallels, right? The way it came, when it came out of the land of Egypt, all of the hosts came out. Matter of fact, the Egyptians said, all of you get out. We don't want you here. We've got plagues. Our firstborns have died. We don't want you guys here. Here's the spoils. Take it and go. So I believe that it's going to be the same way this time, because this is the second time that he's going to stretch forth his hand to bring forth the children of Yasharal out of the lands of their captivity. So I believe it's going to be all of us. Then we can also make the parallel that once he brought them into the wilderness, he got rid of all the rebels there. Rebels are going to be rebels whether they're in America or in the wilderness. Then he got rid of all of those there, and he pleads with us, tell us exactly what he wants us to do in the wilderness before we go into the kingdom to possess the land. Continue to chapter 21. Shalom.